on my laptop, and I'm hoping that either, I don't know if it's hoping that is the signal any better on your end? I hope it is. I hope so. So I don't want anybody to think that I am bitter or have what's the term people use, sour grapes. But I am going to wash this mash off. Oh, okay. Okay. So yeah, I'm not bitter at all. I learned a valuable lesson, and I just keep it moving. I just keep it moving. Life is entirely too short. So that's the moral of the story. Yeah. I don't let anybody stop me from doing anything I want to do. Now, don't get me wrong. I make plans with people all the time. Well, not all the time. Sometimes I don't even bother. But like if I bought tickets to a concert or something, I will ask somebody, even though I know it's such a long shot, because that's just the nature of people. But I'll ask, a couple people, see if they want to go. I'll let them know what my plan is. Or even if I'm going to take a trip or something, I'll ask somebody would they like to go. But because I know how flaky people are, I will say, people as I got older, they got flakier. They were, believe it or not, friends were a lot more reliable when I was younger. Then as we get older, as they say, when you get older, it gets complicated. No, it don't. It's only complicated if you make it complicated. Life is really black and white. Yeah, it really is. It doesn't have to be. My life, I've worked really hard to simplify my life. My life is really simple now. I have no drama. I don't allow it in. And that was a lot of hard work. That was years and years of working and being real, being in control of the people that I allow in my space and all of that. That's a lot of hard work. A lot of work. So I mean, there's an up and a downside to that, though, which I think is what has brought me to where I am, which I think is, I think I'm too guarded at this point. That's the assessment I've come up with. I don't know if 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 it's me, because you know how sometimes things can happen, and it'll, in my mind, use the term Twilight Zone moment, and maybe you're having Twilight Zone moment. Maybe it is you. Maybe it's not the way you see it. Maybe think about. Um, I don't know if this was a joke or if this is something that actually happened. This guy was getting busted. He was at his woman's house, and he says to the woman, "Are you going to believe what you see, or are you going to believe what I tell you?" So the moral of the story is, are your eyes playing tricks on you? No. No, your eyes are not playing tricks on you. You see what you think you see. He's lying. If that wasn't more true than the world we live in now, just turn on your television. I don't know about you, but I got so many channels, I don't even have time to get through a fraction of them. And they all have an interpretation of whatever it is they are presenting. And it might be the same thing that's on 10 other channels. And so that's the moral of the story. Everybody's got their opinion about a situation, and that includes the news, That includes people, that includes cultures, that includes anything. Everybody has their opinion. So, so do you drink it all when you go out? I see no one else has come on yet. I hope they did because oddly enough, the two other times I've been on, because I just started doing this a couple days ago, there was no announcement at all because I didn't even know I was getting ready to do it. I mean, I knew I was going to do it, but I didn't have any specifics. But this particular time, I literally broadcasted it. So it's ironic that I did all that, put the time in, and I thought about half an hour ago, or just before I went online, I thought to myself, hmm, maybe I wasn't as specific as I needed to be because I didn't say, Eastern Standard, or no, I didn't. I just said, 12 o'clock, you know, tonight. That was all I said, but I put it out there. So I didn't put it out there before. And I think I enjoyed last night. I thought we had a great conversation going. There was an exchange, and I laughed. I think we all laughed. I had a good time. I really did. Yeah. I couldn't have, I wouldn't have asked for more. No, I enjoyed it. I know that's not the premise of this, that it's just going to be, me and a couple people, but I enjoyed it just the same, especially since I'm just getting started. Yeah, I enjoyed it. So, what kind of work do you do? Do you still work or are you retired? Did I lose you? Yeah, because I'm not getting anything over here. I have to believe I'm going to go back to work, uh, even if it's just one day a week. I don't know if I will, but I have to believe that I will. I have to have something to look forward to, and this isn't it. Yeah, this isn't it. So I'm looking forward to, as they say, the next chapter. Whew. And that's only one light. I only have one light. Uh, uh, I'm going to call it a YouTube light. It's not what it is, but that's what I'm going to call it. I have several, but I actually only have one on. But it makes me think about when you watch people on TV and they talk about how hot those lights are. Well, I can't imagine what all those lights are like. I can tell you about this one. But yeah, I did go by the dollar store and get me a bunch of balloons, and because I do, I like balloons and things like that. Uh, I think they can festive up uh, an environment, even if it doesn't look festive. I think it can bring a certain atmosphere to any place. So yeah, okay. I stay home and take care of my husband. Oh, okay. Oh, sorry to hear that. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. I will not sit here and say that I know exactly what that feels like. I did have a situation with my mother. Um, she had gotten ill over a period of time. She had been sick for a while, really sick. And she was literally wasting away. And we were taking her back and forth to the doctors, and they weren't really giving us any answers. And my mother was always so trusting. And that was during the time when you didn't really question doctors, or at least I was brought up not to question. We just kind of, you know, went with the program, and mama was just trusting of them. And I literally had to, on my own, decide to do some research on what it was they said her diagnosis was, because I had never heard of it. And so that I could make some sense out of what was going on, because my mother and I were really close. So um, she had been diagnosed with a terminal disease, and she was in constant pain, and she was literally wasting away. She was, my mother was a healthy woman. All my life, I've been told I look just like my mother. So if this is any indication for you, yeah, on my mother's side, her and all her sisters, well, not just her sisters, her brothers too. It's a healthy side of the family. My father's side of the family, they're all thin. My mother's side, they're big. So when she started to lose weight and lose weight and lose weight, and nobody had any answers. Um, and then when they did finally have a diagnosis, and they said she had scleroderma, I had never heard of that at that time. I had no idea what that was. And when I went online and did research, and again, this was 20 years ago or something. I'm trying to see uh, when it was, but the only uh, they described it online is wasting. First of all, that it was autoimmune, but that you basically waste away and you become your body becomes like skeleton, basically the skin just wastes away and you just have skin on bone. So the pictures they had online to give you an idea what it looked like was horrific. I mean, literally horrific. And so that's all we had to look forward to. Um, but again, not the same. Um, that is eventually what took her away, was that disease. But it was a life lesson for me in reference to the medical community. I don't give them a break anymore. I had this conversation with somebody just the other day um, about going to the doctor, and they were talking about how they were at work and all of a sudden they had this pain, and they work in a hospital. They're not a nurse, but I'm not quite sure what she does, but that's she's not a nurse, she's not a doctor, but she's not an aide either, so I'm not really sure. But the point is, that's what she does. And she said she got this pain and then she couldn't walk, and she had been off work for a few days, and they told her it might be a blood clot. And when people tell me things that doctors say, because I have this, my dad was like that. And yeah, I think it's the what's the word I'm looking for? Um, that generation, they just didn't question doctors. They had that whole what's that phrase? Doctors during that time who God complex. You know, a lot of them had bad bedside manners. You just gotta do whatever they say and all that. So that's how my mother was. My father, on the other hand, daddy rarely went to the doctor. He was never sick. Daddy was the party. Daddy partied all the time. So, we didn't party all the time because, of course, that generation worked. So, you know, he worked construction. On the weekend, he was the one who had all the friends and they would get together and, all that. So, Mama she read her Bible, went to church every Sunday. She's in the church choir, you know, until she found out these people who she thought were her friends, some of them were sleeping with her husband, who was my father. I think that kind of comes with the territory. If you're married to a man who is outgoing and everybody knows him, there's always going to be a woman or some women who find that a challenge. And that's just my uh, jaded opinion about that, because at one point, Mama felt like one of the women that he was sleeping with. Now, the only reason why I would know this is that she shared it, and she was not one for talking about that kind of stuff, especially not with her kids. It's like that. Yeah. So, well, fortunately, or rather unfortunately, with Daddy, when he got sick, yes, my dad partied too, and my mom said, "Yeah, that's just the way that generation was." Had a lot of women. Yeah, so I tell you what surprised me is nobody ever showed up at the house and said they want to see their daddy. that never happened. Now, my brothers, that's another story. I got 7 brothers. A few of them had that situation, where girls were uh I got well, 2 brothers in particular, had more than one woman pregnant at the same time, So some of the kids grew up knowing each other and some of them didn't. But nobody ever came to our house claiming he was, that their mama said. No, not as far as Daddy was. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I just thought about it the other day. I wondered if he had any, probably because I was watching one of those commercials for what's the name of that? Ancestry DNA. And there are times when that first came out, I signed up for it. Because I was curious about, of course, my ancestry. And as we know about our history, my dad had 3. Oh, okay. Okay. And then we met. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to say it's a part of the culture, but what is funny about that, a girl I went to school with, we were close. Not close, like, I don't even know how to describe it. I, I met her in high school. We were close, but she was a little younger. The point is, uh, she met her husband in school, in high school. And I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, her sister, who made a career in the military, she was always one. She was kind of like the black sheep. So she was always one. If there was any dirt in the family, she didn't mind spreading it around about other people. Anyway, she was the one who called me saying, did I know? I said, do I know what? So she's telling me about that he had an affair and got some woman pregnant. I said, no, she hasn't talked to me about that. And I'm not one for bringing up stuff with people. I don't do that. I didn't do it when I was young. I'm certainly not going to do it now because that's messy. Not to mention, I told somebody, I've told a few people in recent years, I said, let me tell you something. A woman can tolerate a lot from a man, more than you can imagine. She can even endure him having another woman. As long as what? Every time I watch your videos, you always have such a happy look on your face. Keep your chin up. Absolutely. Hi, Sean. Life's too short not to. Yeah, it's too short not to. So absolutely, always. And I mean, I've absolutely have reason to have a smile on my face. God is good, and He's been good to me. So why wouldn't I? I'm blessed to still be here to have a smile. Because as we know, everybody didn't make it. I don't take it for granted, that I'm going to be here in a year or what have you. I don't take any of that for granted anymore. I can't. That would be ridiculous on my part. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure my mother knew that she knew about that stuff. That's how we knew. My only issue with that is those women came to the house and befriended mama. See, and to me that's wrong. That's wrong. But they did. And she got really sick at one point, and she was sick for a long time. And she felt like one of the women he was messing with practiced voodoo. And mama felt that this woman had put a curse on her because she was sick a long time. And as you know, in our culture, a lot of black people believe in that. So who am I? I was a kid. How old was I when this was going on? Maybe 15. You didn't question when especially your mother, said something like that. She believed it. It was true. And she was sick a long time. So what can I say? All I know is growing up, I watched my mother go through a lot with my father. And the lesson I came away with, that wasn't going to be me. That's what I came away with. I could not be that girl. I can't make that. I could never make that sacrifice for a man. I couldn't do it because I mean, there's been so many times, as I've gotten older, I wish she were here and we could do these things together. We could be buds. We could travel because she never got to do any of that stuff. And I would love it if she were here, not at the age she would be now, but at the age she was then. Of course, that's not possible. But yeah, that's what I wish. I wish my mother was here in her 40s and we could kick it. I don't mean bars. No. My mother never drank, so no. I mean, travel, that kind of stuff. She never got to do any of that because she was always at home, raising kids and doing all that stuff. Yeah, she never got to me, she got a raw deal. That's just my opinion. And then everybody in my family's married. All my siblings and everybody's married. And I look at these marriages and don't none of these people seem happy to me. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here saying that I'm holding up the banner for single life. I have been married a few times. Yeah, I've been married a few times. But when I get into relationships and they get serious and they ask me to marry them and I agree, I tell them this: I'm not one of those type of women who I want you to be completely honest with me, even if you don't think I'm going to like it, because I'm telling you the truth about me. So I expect for you to be honest, even if you don't think I'm going to like it. I said, because what you need to understand about me, if you got some deal breakers, I'm gone. And I know you don't believe me, but it doesn't matter if you believe me. I'm telling you the way that I am. What you choose to do with that information, that's totally up to you. I'm telling you, I'm not having it. So, of course, Those things do happen. People lie. And they think, I always think about my last husband when I got ready to leave him. And he said in this childlike voice, he says, "But you said you never leave." I said, "And you crazy? I never told you I would never leave. I told you don't lie to me. That's what I told you. And I meant what I said. The problem is you didn't believe me. That's not on me. That's on you. So I didn't break the deal. Marriage is a contract. I did not break this contract. You broke the contract. That's the part you don't get. I kept up my end. I don't know what you want from me. I look at this in a practical way. I know, like I said, my sister was married for 35 years and then they got a divorce. And she put it, like I said, everybody I know who was married for all those decades, these are some bitter people now. I see these people and I tell them they need to get some counseling because whatever it is that they're carrying around that has them, bound up. And again, I'm not saying all this because I'm against marriage. I think when I moved here, my plan was to get married again. But again, I have this philosophy. I still mean what I say. Um, I, as you see, I'm struggling with even saying the words. So, one revelation I came to recently, meaning in the past, since this pandemic, is I don't really think I ever should have got married. That's what I say now, especially in light of my track record. I don't think I should have ever gotten married because of my philosophy about it. I know there's going to be ups and downs. Oh, yeah, I know that. But we can't keep having the same ups and downs. I can't do that. If you make a mistake, if something's not right, okay, you sorry. Okay, you sorry. I hear you. But we can't keep being sorry for the same thing. Because at some point, you're not really sorry. You just want to see if you can get away with it again. I can't do that. I mean, I did it. That's why I can sit here and talk about it. Absolutely. Yeah. But life is too short. It's too short. I mean, I look at my sister who's miserable. They've been divorced now 15 years, but you would never know it. Because whatever happened in that marriage, whoo, and we were close. But as you know, being married, people don't know what goes on in your house. They know things, but they don't know. They know what you share, but they don't really know. And I know based on the way that my sister acts, I don't know any of that. I know I don't. She's never shared any of that. I know she's broken because she's a very angry woman. And most of the time, she can't even tell you why she's angry. I will say this, at least she is in therapy. But I think some people get the wrong the wrong attitude about therapy. I think they think one day they're going to walk in there and there's going to be this light bulb moment. Maybe. I'm an advocate for therapy. I know that's not really popular in the Black community, but oh well. I think if you need help, you need to get it. I don't think you get through this world without getting some scars, not necessarily physical, because I tell you what, those emotional scars, they're a lot more difficult to get rid of, if you can manage to get rid of them at all. Now, if I get a cut here, it can heal, and it's visibly seen that it's healing. But you get a scar on the inside, like a broken heart or domestic violence or any number of things that can break you. Um, you might not come back from that. You can, but see, a lot of people don't. They mask it. They just, some people say, well, they're doing the best that they can. No, I'm sure they are, but there are tools out there that can help you through this pain. And I know it's emotional pain. There is no pain like emotional pain. It's not like, falling, tripping, and hitting your head or hitting your knee. You'll see a bruise, it'll heal that. But those internal scars that you get from life, like I say to people, if life was so easy, everybody would be doing it. Everybody ain't doing it. Uh, my brother has this phrase that he uses. He says he's gonna have to cancel. He's gonna have to cancel Christmas. Uh, okay, what does that mean? It means like when people decide they're done. I'm tired of fighting. I'm tired of the struggle. I'm tired of arguing. I'm tired of working hard and I don't have anything to show for it. I'm tired of living from paycheck to paycheck, whatever their struggles may be. You know, I'm tired of being used by men. Just whatever it may be, whatever. They're just tired. I would say probably right now, there are more suicidal people out there now than ever in our history. Because in our history right now, this is history making stuff that's going on right now. All this stuff. It's going to be in the history books one day. Because we're living through something that we've never experienced before. That's why they're making it up as they go. And the DMV was proof of that today. So much of what's going on is make it up as you go. Because I never really want to get see, and that's because when we are growing up, when we're little girls, everything we know, everything we see, everything we learn is about as women that we're gonna grow up, we're gonna get a husband, and we're gonna. I'm just thankful that I didn't grow up in my mother's time when they got married really young. My mother got married when she was 13 to my father. Yeah, her whole life. You think she didn't need a vacation? And she was pregnant every year? Who wants that life? No, 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 no. As hard as she worked, and what we know now today about the uneven distribution between men and women, especially black women and men, all you have to do is look at the whole blueprint of society. You know who created that mess where women do all the work and go outside the home and work. And she's doing everything at home. Ain't no woman created that. That's a man. And I have been through oh, girl, we can talk. We sisters right here with that one. I did a video on part of that one in my old life. Okay. So it's not a secret anymore. And I'm going to tell you something. Like I said early on when I started making videos, I really thought about it before I decided to do that, talk about that. Because even when I moved out here, I've always been very guarded about stuff that's my scars, so to speak, that you couldn't see. But you can tell when a person's been broken. I don't care how many masks they wear. You can tell. There's something in the behavior. And a victim of domestic violence, There's certain, I can remember being in a support group, and my question was, why? 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 I mean, I sit in that room with maybe 10 women, and when you looked around that room, we were all from different walks of life. Because, see, during that time, I thought only women like me, meaning average, hardworking women. I thought that was only happening to us. No, there were professional women sitting in there. There were women in there who their husbands were wealthy. There was all kind of women. That was my first time at seeing domestic violence and how it can be anywhere. See, but that still didn't answer my question as to why. Why does it appear that only certain women are victims? I got my answer. I was so inspired when I came out of therapy or support group that I wanted to start a support group because I felt the information was so valuable. Yeah, it was extremely valuable. Yeah, I learned a lot. And I've never really talked about that. Yeah. Actually, when I think about it, I've been in a few support groups for different things. When I first got sick and I was diagnosed, yeah, I was actually down south when I decided to. When I got attacked, uh, and I left town, went to another state because I couldn't heal. I couldn't heal physically or emotionally in that town because there's just too many reminders. And I was so broken. I didn't. I was so far out there. I didn't think I could come back. But being here and taking care of him, I am trying to find myself again. I have been through. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. I learned a lot from. I find that I don't anymore necessarily have to go through it. When you're young, uh, you you gotta you have to do it yourself. I don't have to do it myself anymore. I can watch somebody else uh, make the mistake, and that's good enough for me because I've learned. I've hit my head enough. You know, I don't have any problem with cutting my losses. If it don't feel right or smell right, as they say, I cut my losses. I can't. We can't work it out because I don't want to. Life should not be so hard. Being here and taking care. I can't believe you have me being so open. I'm glad. I'm telling you, me transplanting myself here was the best thing I could have done for myself because I don't really think I would have ever healed if I had stayed in the environment where I had all the memories and all the pain. All the pain that I've ever had is all centrally located. See, yeah, it's all there. So when I decided to um, move here, I made, as I was making this drive, uh, 3,000 miles, and I was coming out of a relationship, another one, because again, the attack had been years, a few years. And then I met someone, and it was a relationship, but then it got nasty, uh, and not in a physical way, uh, but it got nasty, and I actually had decided to get my CDL, and I was on the road. So, which for me, I like that I can go anytime that I want to. I still have my CDL. That was part of my issue at the DMV today. because I want to keep my CDL current, even though I don't think I'll ever drive again, not like that. But that's not the point. I worked hard to get that CDL, and all I got to do now is just keep it current. If I lose it and want to get it back, then I got to go through all of that, which means I got to go back to school. I got to do, no, all I got to do is just keep my CDL current. And that's what I do, because none of us know what's around the corner. And so for that reason, I'd rather keep my stuff right, because you just never know. You never know. Yeah. But yeah, when I made the decision to talk about that on camera, it wasn't as difficult as I thought it was going to be. And because I want to help people, I know people are bound up. They're completely bound up. I know people who go to church all the time and quote scripture. They more bound up than the people who aren't bound. I'm not sitting here claiming to be some big Christian evangelist. Okay, that's not who I am. I'm a Black woman who turned 66 today. I thank God every day that I'm here, that I still look good. I still can attract men. The man that I have been in a relationship with since I moved here is 18 years younger than me. Yeah, 18 years. I can't believe it sometimes myself. No, I can't. But that's neither here nor there. The point is, when I made the decision to move out here, the whole way when I was driving, that was my opportunity to think about my life. That's a lot of time to think when you're driving 3,000 miles and you got everything that you own in the back of a van. Yeah, I was traveling light. I had a whole we call it storage thingy with all my furniture and everything. But when I got to, where was I at? Florida, I don't know, South Carolina, somewhere down there. I made a decision that I was only going to carry what I could carry. So I looked in my storage unit and I said, I'm going to fill this up. Whatever I can get in here, that's what I'm going to take. And when I get there, I'll deal with that then. The main thing is for me to get to stepping. So that's what I did. I loaded as much as I could, and I felt it was more important for me to get, because I've learned over time that getting that kitchen and bathroom stuff, meaning like sheets and towels and getting all those, like restocking the kitchen, people think that's a small task. It might be if you don't cook, but see, I cook. That ain't no small task. So for me, it was really important for me to bring my pots and my pans, my silverware and all my spices and all that stuff. Because, yeah, you can go to the dollar store and get some, but it takes a lot of money to stock a kitchen and stock a bathroom and get all those sheets and comfort. For me, it was more important for me to have all that stuff. Okay? More important for me to have that. Furniture, when I moved out here, I didn't bring a bed. I looked at my big king size bed and my living room furniture, all that. I looked at that and I said, okay, what's the most practical thing you could bring? Now, probably if I were a younger woman, I probably would have said my bed. But when I moved out here, I was 51. In my mind, if a man had approached me when I got here, the way where my head was at that time, was nothing happening. Nothing. I had only one focus. Me getting out here, me getting my life right. That was it. That was it. So I took my couch. I didn't even bring a bed. I said I did not want to, because I have known people who have a bed, their living room is completely bare. They ain't got no furniture in the living room. They had no furniture. I found that out here a lot. And they got roommates. I'm not a roommate girl. Okay. The only people I've ever lived with is my husband's. I don't I brought my couch, and I had no dining room furniture. I had my couch and all my, like I said, all my bathroom and that kind of stuff. That's what I had. And I got, like I said, I got as much left, all the appliances, the washers and dryer. I left all of it because I know I can get it again. It was more important for me to have, like like for example, if somebody came at my house, what I didn't want is for somebody to walk in there and see, like, oh, you haven't moved yet? Because if your rooms are bare, that's the implication. No, I had living room furniture. Yeah. And actually, what I wound up doing was I made a makeshift bed in my bedroom. I thought I was going to sleep on my couch, but I didn't. I went, and this is really roughing it. I had bagged up my clothes. All my clothes was in garbage bags. I don't know how many bags it was, but I laid them out in my bedroom and made a bed. I did. I made a bed and put sheets over it. I made a bed. And that's what I slept on until I was able to get me a bed. Yeah. I didn't have anything when I got here. Mm-mm. I had bad credit. I had, did I have a car? No. I drove a company vehicle out here. Yeah. I drove a company vehicle. So I had the company vehicle because they thought I was going to work for them when I got out here and I decided I didn't want to. So, yeah, uh, I could go on, and we can absolutely talk about all this stuff, you know, anytime you want to. Things are never as they seem. I can remember standing up in church when I lived down in South Carolina, and I had lost a lot of weight. I was a size 10, and for me, that's small. And I had this pink leather pantsuit. I wore it to church. I stood there. I had my blonde extensions in. I had on my really soft pink leather pantsuit, and it was Easter Sunday. Everybody was doing their testimony. So it came my turn. Everybody had a perception of me because I looked so put together. I looked so good. Everybody thought they knew my story. And when I got up there and I told them that I was a victim of domestic violence and that God had delivered me, and look at me now. This is God. Everybody in the congregation looked because they could not believe it. They could not believe it looking at me. That's why I'm saying things are never as they seem. No, but when I moved out here, everywhere I went, everybody had a roommate, males and females. So uh when I met a guy, one of the first questions he would ask me was, "Well, who are you staying with?" And that was a trick question to me because nobody had ever asked me that question. I mean, I'm in my 50s. Nobody had ever asked me who was I staying with. I mean, especially after you've asked the question, "Are you married?" And I say I'm not married, but then you ask me, "Who am I staying with?" I looked at him like, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, most people out here, they, have a roommate because the rent." I said, "Well, first of all, I'm the kind of person that if I can't pay my rent, I can't. A roommate ain't gonna help that. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. Like I said, God is good. God is good. I've started over a lot. Me and my two children. I got two too. It does not make sense. Girl, you ain't said nothing but a word. I'm telling you, you are absolutely right. But fortunately, when all this craziness happened, oh goodness, Rock McGee, I recognize that name. Somebody said to me the other night, "How do you remember names?" I don't know how I remember people who leave comments. I don't know how. I just do. And I recognize that name. And I absolutely remember the comments. I want to thank everyone who is logging in to celebrate my birthday. I appreciate it. This is Alice at Wonderland Speaks. I want everyone, if you would like and subscribe, post and share, because I'm here. It's live. And again, this is a new medium for me. And certainly this is a Q&A. If you've got any questions, by all means, ask them. Am I going to answer them? I don't know until you ask me. You know, I'm not a complete open book, but I've shared quite a bit. So, as my mother would say, you don't know unless you ask. So, Jazzy, how old are your kids? Mine's are thank you, Rock. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I'm a happy camper. Yeah, I'm a happy camper. Yeah. I don't have a care in the world. I'm sitting here on Thursday night, I think, and we got Christmas in front of us, and the only concern I have with that is what's going to be in my menu. I've asked myself that question more times than I can count, and you know, uh, even after you've been creative, you can still think, what? So I don't know. I'll probably fix the usual things. So other than that, just life, life. Who's out there? I see. Who do I see? Sean and Rock. Jazzy, you still there? So, oh yeah, hey girl. Yeah. Oh, okay. Our children are 9 years apart. Okay. See, I wasn't so fortunate. I was I don't know if that would have helped the situation though, because they are 2 or 3 years apart. Yeah. 2 or 3. But I tell you what was funny about that, it was almost as if it was planned because my birthday is first, the kids' birthdays are in the middle, and then their dad's birthday is uh, behind. So my birthday is the 16th, my daughter's birthday is the 17th, my son's birthday is the 18th, their dad's birthday is the 19th. Now, what is that? That wasn't planned, but that's how it worked out. Yeah. So, but as my mother would say, you reap what you sow. He was not a nice person. And, well, I'll put it this way, but I feel a little stuck in this marriage. I feel you. I feel you. I do. It's a difficult. It's difficult. It's it's difficult making decisions about change or if there should be any. I start from a place of, and again, my opinions are objective opinions based on my life experience, but my decisions are always based on um, because I don't have to anymore. When I decided to start doing a lot of moving around, my kids were adults, so it was just me. I didn't have to be concerned, not in that way, about them. The only thing is, their concern now is um, the fact that I'm, moving around. Not so much because I mean I've been here since 2008, so uh, I'm not doing a lot of moving around. I'm here. you know. I mean, I'm impulsive because when I go there to visit, they never know that I'm coming. And when I get there and they say, well, how long are you going to stay? I don't know how long I'm going to stay. I don't. If they make me mad, I may leave. I don't say that at that moment. My point is, it's just for me, it's important for me to have that option. If something don't feel right to me, don't look right to me, I think about not the last time I was there, the time before, because I go at least once a year. I was there just a few months ago. What is this? This is December. So that was July, August. I was there. Um, that was probably of all the times I've went, probably the best visit. When I left there, I think maybe 5 years before I went back the first time, because when I left, my my thought was I would never go back, which is normal way to feel when you're coming out of a toxic situation. You think, oh, I would never revisit that. For me, it was really important for healing for me to go back. And it was hard for a long time, but that's my family. So I remember a minister saying to me once in the midst of all the craziness, I had just come out of the hospital, I had surgery, and they had put all these staples in me and they were still there. So I was still right in the middle. I think I had been out of the hospital maybe 3 days, and I had went to my minister uh, for for a word, for a healing, for something, and I was telling him what was going on with my family and how they would treat me and all this, that, and the other, and um, I said, but I'm torn because I need to leave, but they need me. And I just kept saying that. I said, but they need me. He says, you can't help them until you can help yourself. And he said that in such a calm voice. And in my mind, I'm thinking, does he realize what he's saying to me? Oh, okay. 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 Yeah, see, my son, that's my son's age, the oldest one. My son, my daughter was born in 73. So, she in her late 40s. So yeah, there one was born in 73 and I can't even think when they were born, 76. So yeah, that's 3 years apart. She was born in October, he was born in November, but 3 years apart. So yeah, he just had a birthday, of course. She had a birthday the month before. So yeah, fortunately I did not have to. Matter of fact, when I'm making life changing decisions, I don't talk to anybody. I used to when I was younger. But then when I would bring people in on my decisions, my life changing decisions, and then it didn't work out. So now I'm mad at them because they gave me bad advice. What I had to learn was stop asking them. That's not even on them. That's on me because I went to them. you know How is it they're supposed to be such great experts? What do they say? Consider the source. Ah, all I know was I was like, I was looking for a life raft. Anybody could help me. You know, not technically. These were people I trusted, of course, but I would imagine at that point they were probably just tired of listening to me. You know, when you got the same, you're a broken record and it's the same thing all the time, but then you also look to those people for wisdom, and you hope that they're giving you good advice. I wish my son had been the oldest, you know, instead of my daughter. I don't know if that really would have helped him in his life's journey, but no, my daughter is the oldest. And she's got a lot of anger issues because she was the oldest. Because the older children always, uh, if especially if there is like you said, there's a 9-year age difference. So now your youngest child is not even going to understand your oldest child's emotions, that roller coaster, and that little bit of a chip that they carry. That's because those children bear the burden of our growing pains. You know what I'm saying? They saw it all. They heard it all, even when you didn't think they did. That oldest child, they did. I always thought, even though we know these walls are never that thick, but when all this is happening, you think the kids don't hear. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. And they grow up with that. And so, as parents, we spend the rest of our lives paying for that in one way or another. That's just my opinion, based on my own life. I look at my sister, my one sister, because I got three. Uh, she has three kids. Her oldest child, she had in high school. The other two, she had with her husband, who she was married to for 35 years. Now, you tell me, those are boys. The oldest child is her daughter. She treats her daughter bad. I mean, even to this day, she still treats her bad. She says bad things about her to her. And what is strange to me is how she has this amnesia. And I remind her, I said, you got a little amnesia going there, don't you? You forget I was there. You talking about her, but that was you. You don't think I remember? I remember. You talking about her and how she's acting. You did the same thing. You're not that far from it now. But yeah, there's that dynamic. The boys, they get a pass. When she needs something or she's distressing about something, she don't call them. But she calling that girl constantly. You think she appreciates that girl? Mm-mm. It's never enough. She's never doing enough. She's always complaining about what she's doing. I said, but you don't realize how blessed you are. What if she didn't take your call? Have you thought about that? Well, she didn't. She didn't take my call. I didn't hear from her for a month. I said, but you still had two other kids. I don't see you being angry with them. Hi, Miss D. How are you? Thanks for thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Please, you guys, don't forget to like and subscribe, share, and click the notification bell. This is my birthday celebration. Today is my birthday, or actually all day today. It ended tonight. I wanted to begin and end my birthday on a live. And so that's what has brought us here. And I am so thankful that it has. I really am. Because certainly it gives me an opportunity to uh, become more familiar. Also, it gives you an opportunity to, in real time, ask me questions because, you know, I'm great. I hope you have a wonderful birthday. I had a wonderful birthday. My birthday was great. DMV tried to ruin it. I don't have to tell you, license expire on your birthday. And so today I had to go to DMV. It was not a pretty picture at all. At one point, they told me I was going to have to leave and come back. I said, that ain't going to work because my license expired tonight. So, how's that going to work? So, then the woman at the DMV says to me, well, if they stop you, you can tell them that you're on your way to the DMV. And I said, and they don't care about that. You tell a county sheriff or police that has stopped you that you on your way to the DMV. He said, not today. He would arrest me. That's what would happen if he caught me driving with expired license. Please, I've lived too long to fall for that one. She said, yeah, you right. I know I'm right. I haven't lived this long and never lost my license to get stupid. I said, my license have never been expired. I've never not had my license, and I'm not going to start today. Don't make sense to get this old and get stupid. Mm-mm. No, they don't care about that. Oh, and I know it. So that's why I wanted to make sure she knew that I know. You out here giving out bad advice. Telling people they're going to have to come back because y'all over, what was the phrase she used? Over capacity. I'm looking around in the room, but don't look over. Oh, and then she says, not only are they over capacity, but they're short staffed. Well, that's not a news flash. Everybody's short staffed. Those of you who were incompetent before, you still incompetent. You were incompetent before the pandemic. You were short staffed before the pandemic. No, but that's not entirely true because I will say out here in my little community, before all this, it was easy breezy. You could get in and out in 10 minutes. But because of all this, and as she pointed out to me, the governor of the state says they can't work past 5 anymore. As if I asked her to work past 5. I didn't even bring that up. She said they can't do that anymore. The governor says they can't do it anymore. Me and my son grew up there. See, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I said. Had to learn a lot with exactly. That's what I'm saying. So when it comes to your youngest child and your oldest one, the oldest one had to help raise because you got that big gap. So they got a totally different kind of relationship, even though they're siblings. But I'm sure there are times when he looks at him or her almost like a parent figure, So it's complicated. That's the phrase people like to use. You know, I mean, I had my first child when I was 18, like a lot of us did. So yeah, uh, 18 then was a lot more innocent. How this country will continue with so many people willingly choosing to not work. Well, Miss D, I don't really I think, and this is just my opinion, I think that some people are having, as some would say, an epiphany. I think they are realizing they do have employers for so long had people believing they had no power, no control, and they had no choice. And what the pandemic showed them is that they do have a choice and that they don't have to put up with it. Because some of these employers are just, they're scandalous. They're disgusting. They're a lot of things. That's not all, but some of them. And they don't care about their employees. And so, yeah, it's a bad situation now, but think of it this way. Look at all the years these employers who swore they could not afford to pay their people, uh, they couldn't afford to raise the minimum wage. Look how hard they fought in Congress to keep the minimum wage below the minimum wage. They're still fighting that. They, I would imagine, always be fighting that. But I mean, the fact that you need an act of Congress to give people a livable wage, and think about all these people who are working 2 and 3 jobs and still can't pay their rent. That's the world we live in. And something else occurred to me in the midst of all this. See, there's a segment of the population, this didn't touch them. And so that's why, now those are disgruntled employees because they have an issue with the people who set it out and got unemployment. But these are people who had good salaries, who had a choice to uh, work remotely, you know, they could work with their jammies on, homeschool their kids. Those are not essential workers. See, the essential workers of the country, these are forgotten people. These are people who are so necessary until it's time to pay them. But those are your essential workers. That's the backbone of this country, essential workers. But they're the ones who it takes an act of Congress to get them not even a livable wage. Because $7.25 an hour, I don't know where that pays rent. Under the bridge. Because as you know, real estate is going up. Price of rent is going every I went to the store and bought, because I buy produce every week. Every week. That produce went from $1.49, because I buy, well, actually I buy 3 kinds of greens. I buy the 50/50, the spring mix. Yes, she would listen to my son more than me, and I had to change. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, Miss D, don't get me on economics and politics and all of that nonsense. This past year that I have been uh quote unquote retired, all I do is watch news. Not that I wasn't up on things before that, because I was. That's one of my pet peeves. I stay up on things. But once I was isolated, all I do was sit here and either go online and watch news or watch all them 10 million channels I got and go from one news program to the other, or watch somebody who just video recorded some injustice, and it's bombarding. It's overwhelming. And sometimes you got to step back and take a break from it, because it's like one of those, you ever watch cartoons when you were a kid, and like Tom and Jerry, and he got him running around the room, and then you see that spin, his head spin. That's how news is now. It's got your head spinning because you don't know what to believe, because it's crazy. Okay, what's your news network of choice? You know what? I don't even have one. I used to before I got all these. I'll put it this way: I had one before I got the Fire Stick. Once I got the Fire Stick, I got so much more access, and so now it's just off the charts. I watch everybody. Well, everybody except Fox. I don't watch any local news. I'm usually watching world news or all over the country news. And somehow I do get local news, but it's not because I go to a local network because I don't actually get local channels. I get everybody's but. You would think I would get local, but yeah. So yeah, I watch. I like the idea that the average person can video record a news segment. It's not edited. That's what I like about it. It doesn't have anybody's take on it. They just took out their camera. Now you can assess it any way you want and say, "Oh my God, that's what it is." But when you watching CNN or MS, someone was talking about the Fire Stick. You know what? When did I buy? I know what I had a. It was between QVC and Home Shopping. I don't know which one I got them at, but they had a sale. I didn't know anything about a Fire Stick, but they had them on sale, buy one get one. So I bought them. Of course, I needed to because I had one in the living room, one in my bedroom. So of course I needed them, but I didn't know anything about them. Nothing. I mean, I watched the segment when they were doing the demonstration and all that, but that's them. But then when I got it home, I had no idea what that meant, what that was going to do. And it said all I needed was an internet connection. Well, I already had that, because I have internet in my house. Oh my God. I'm going to tell you something. That Fire Stick opens up a whole new world, a whole new world, because I can watch my, I can record with whatever, because I got all this crap. I got my smart, everything's smart. The laptops, the desktops, the TVs, the stereos, all this stuff is smart. So it's all one big family. Now it's up to you if it's a happy family. What do I mean by that? It's a question of how you hook it up. If you get everything hooked together, I called out my cable provider to hook it up for me. And then I asked him about it, because I didn't know anything about the Fire Stick. And he, of course, set it up, had everything looking all pretty, and told me the only thing I had to remember was my password in case it got offline. He said, it probably won't happen, but if it does, this is your password. So, but what it does is it gives me access to everything, every channel, everything. It was hard, but we came through it, and I can say my children never been in trouble. Exactly, exactly. So I would say it's an up and a downside, of course, to that. But I would say if you don't have the Fire Stick, I would say get it because it's certainly I wouldn't want to go back because with cable, I'm limited in more ways. I live in a community where I only pay for my internet. My internet is only $50. Yeah. But see, when I lived in town, my internet was off the charts. And I don't know why, I didn't wasn't like I had great service. They're a monthly fee. Uh I have Amazon Prime. That's my monthly fee. I order a lot from Amazon. And again, 2 years ago, that wasn't the case. 2 years ago, every now and again, I would order from Amazon. I mean, every great while. I could count on one hand how many times I would order a couple of years ago. And then there was a shift, and it just, I don't know. It got to the point where every time I was getting ready to buy something, before I would think about it, I would go on Amazon and check the price. So I could be in Walmart getting ready to buy something, and it didn't even matter what. And and if it wasn't where it was supposed to be, right there, I would go on my smartphone and check and see what their price was. I think the biggest seller for me was, first of all, Amazon has an incredible customer service department. And secondly, some things they can get to you in a day. There's no long waiting time. And a lot of times I could be sitting here thinking about going to the store. Like tonight, I was thinking, okay, what do I want to cook Sunday? That's like my day to cook. I cook everything for the week on Sunday. And so I was sitting, what do I want to cook? And I'm like, but see, I could go online tonight with Amazon. And by the time I decide to go to the store, Amazon could have it at my door. See, that's the difference. I'm going to go out and come back in. It's a delay that I am having. Okay, I'm here. I'll be here. But yeah, I pay $12.99 for my membership, and of course, with that Amazon Prime, you get I'm guilty, especially lately, of ordering a lot of items. I love your tips on dating out. Oh, thank you so much. There's so much more to come. There, you know what? Once I started this, it was like a hornet's nest because some of this stuff I've forgotten, and in the process of me talking about it, like I've shared with other viewers, it's been so therapeutic for me. That's the first thing I noticed about this, especially if it was something that was painful for me. This has been very therapeutic. If I was struggling with something, uh, this has been therapy. So just in me, because me doing live is new. I just started doing that 2 days ago. Just me making my videos, of me thinking about what I was going to talk about. And I can ramble sometimes when I'm doing a video, but then I started trying to get more structured, uh, uh, really trying to stay on topic, whatever I was talking about. Because I remember my first interracial video I put out, I did I kind of went to, I had listed some things on my blog because I was going to write a book. I still might, but at this point, I had listed, it was like the foundation of this book I was going to write. And it was about my relationships. And I had listed a list of things. So I went to that and I said, I can use that in a video. But what I've come to realize is I could have made several videos out of that instead of one, because people really don't want to stay on for a long. Well, they will if it's good. I learned that if it's good, they'll stay. But if it's all over the place, or for whatever the reason they lose interest, then you might lose them. But something I learned recently is another creator who has a channel that she started in 19. Uh, she has a house sitting channel. She's ex-military, and so of course she'd already world traveled. But when she came out of the military, she started doing house sitting when she wasn't working in pharmaceuticals or something. But the point is, she realized that after a period of time, and I don't want to get too specific because off the top of my head, I don't remember. But she has a great channel. From the moment I started watching her, I didn't even realize how long her videos were. She mentioned it the other day. She started a channel in 19. But the point I'm making is she started her channel in 19 just to talk about house sitting, and what that has become for her is nothing short of amazing. And that's the whole thing about YouTube. My motivation when I started this was just to have something to pass on to my kids. That's why I started my channel, was my cooking. I wanted to share my recipes with my grandkids, give them something. Unlike when I was growing up, I have my memories, but I don't know your age, but I know as we get older, the memory starts to fade and we don't necessarily remember the particulars. But if you have a video, they can just If they've got internet, that's forever. So I thought, oh, that'll be great. So that was my motivation. And it just kind of spinned off into other things. But that is still my primary focus is, and I noticed that the other day when I was downloading, trying to organize my channel, half my channel is food. And I didn't even realize it until I tried to do that. I do know that a lot of times when I'm sitting here and I want to do a video, but I lack the motivation. I think, oh, and then I'll think about it. Then I'll talk myself out of it. And I'll say, I don't have anything I want to talk about. But one thing I'll say for this that I've noticed is doing live. It doesn't require all that. It doesn't, because I'm live and I'm just talking. And if you ask me a question, I can answer it. So that's different from me sitting with a an index card, or for me, it's my clipboard. My clipboard with uh, uh, an outline of what I want to cover. So this way, I don't have to do that. The only thing I have to do here is decide how long do I want to be live. And like I said last night, I'm so new at this, I'm playing it by ear. The first night I was on an hour. And again, the first night I didn't even mention, I didn't even know I was getting ready to go online when I did, but I did. And then last night again, I didn't mention it. I just did it this time because it was my birthday, this 24-hour period. I did announce on Facebook and Instagram that I was going to be celebrating my birthday during this period. And so here we are. So, yeah, that's the advantage, or rather disadvantage, to live versus just doing a recording, even though technically it's kind of the same, because even though this is live, I can go back and uh, edit it if I want, but I don't edit. I, I, I tried and I can't. Now, I can't say that, the day won't come when my channel is successful and I have all these subscribers and all that stuff that comes when your channel's doing really well, that I won't hire someone. But that's not what's happening here. It's just me. It's just me. And I've got all my birthday. I got my birthday balloons. I got a dozen balloons. Some of them say happy birthday. I also have, this is my birthday drink. I always keep alcohol in my house. I'm not even a drinker, but I do try to be a good host. And I didn't even know what kind of alcohol I had. The, this tequila I keep on my refrigerator door. It just is. So I said, well, and I always keep fresh fruit in the freezer. So I said, well, I'll make strawberry margarita. So that's what this is. I put it in my blender and stuck it in the freezer, and then took it out when I started my live. So that's why most of it is frozen, but I see it's starting to liquefy down here at the bottom. But now, I did put a double shot. Well, it's more than a double shot. This is very good. It almost tastes like I put, because I make um, a healthy smoothie, and it has like glycerin and protein powder that's supposed to have like 50 greens in it and all that. and it gives the smoothie a texture in addition to throwing a banana in there. But this, it has a whole pound of strawberries in it, a half a pound of pineapple in it, and then it has that Corvo tequila. Uh, what's that Margarita mix they sell at Walmart? It's a liquid, comes in a white bottle. I put like what was it? A quarter of a cup of that. No, it was a half a cup of that margarita mix in it. What else did I put in there? That may be all. Oh no, you know what else I put in there? It just occurred to me. I looked in the cabinet and I said, "Oh, what can I put in here?" I got some of that uh, Crystal Light, but it's not the Crystal Light. It was strawberry, I think. You know, it comes packet like Kool-Aid, but it's Crystal Light. I threw a packet of that in there. That's the kind of cook I am. I look in the refrigerator, freezer, or cabinet, and you know, come out with stuff, and put it together. Because I'd never seen a recipe for a drink that had Crystal Light in it. But that's what I did, and that is delicious, nice and thick, and it's got just the right amount. Oh, I did put something else in it. Grenadine. I have some of that on the door. See, when you don't really drink, the last time I made a drink, what was the last holiday? Not Thanksgiving, because that's been in there a while. I don't know, but it was a holiday. I would have to look at video because I made a video when I did it. But that was the last time I made a drink because I don't really drink. Special occasion I'll do a drink, but otherwise I'm not or if I go out with people, I'll to be social, I'll have a drink. But I always keep stuff in the house, you know. That was on the door, and uh, I keep stuff in the cabinet in there, wines, and it's liquor in there. I think there's brandy and rum, and yeah. So I keep stuff in the house. The only problem is when people come over and I ask them if they would like to have a drink, and they say, "Well, what do you have?" And I'll say, "What do you want?" And so then I start naming things. So now I've said too much because I got too many choices. That's not my point. I'm just trying to be a good host. Maybe you don't want alcohol. Maybe you want something cold to drink, or I mean, I don't know. You know, I'm just asking you what you want. They said, "Well, if you're gonna have a drink with me," I said, "Well, I don't really want to drink." Well, I don't want to drink by myself. Okay. What do they do at the casino? They do like that. I'm done. I don't know. You know, I'm just trying to do my best. Be thankful. Yeah, be thankful for all my many blessings. But see, the good thing about this, you know, is, and I also like that about it when I make my healthy smoothies, is that it generally always takes me a while to get one down. And I use this cup. And I'm sure you've seen this cup. I kind of discovered it by accident. I was back east and it was wintertime. It was January. And that was actually the first time I had been there in the winter in a very long time. And I think they had like -2. It was freezing. We just don't get that cold. I mean, it gets cold for us, but we get jacket cold. We don't get freezing. And my daughter-in-law had a cup like this, and I had made my coffee. When I'm in cold climate, I drink coffee every day. I have a cup because it's hot. And she gave me her cup. She said, it'll keep it, because their house was cold. Everything was cold to me. Their house was cold outside. All I knew is that I was cold and I couldn't warm up. So she gave me this cup. And all I could think about was, but this is one of those, my father used to have one of those thermoses, and it was like stainless steel. But I knew he had it to keep his coffee hot, but it still didn't keep it that hot. But when I used this cup, and I just was so amazed that this cup kept my drink hot for so many hours. It was like 8 hours later, and it was still smoking hot. I couldn't believe it. I said, I gotta have me one of those cups. So you can use them for hot or cold. So what I had, well, this was hot. This is something I just started uh, last week because I'm always looking for a healthy drink. This is turmeric. And because I went to the doctor, for those of you who have watched my videos, the ones that have anything to do with my health, I take a lot of medication. And I saw a specialist recently who told me without batting an eye that I was sent to him for a specific reason. And that was the only reason why I was sent to him. I said, well, you know what's ironic about that statement? Is that I've seen three of y'all and nobody has said that to me but you. He said, well, that's the only reason why they come to see me. I said, well, I appreciate your candor. I said, but the only way you get to do a bone marrow biopsy is that you knock me out. I said, because I've had them before and they're extremely painful. I'm already in pain. You don't get to do that. I said, you can if you knock me out. He said, well, we can't really do that. Well, in reality, you can, but I'm not going to go there with. He didn't know me. We met that day. I said, okay. He said, well, I guess we're done. You don't need to make another appointment. Not unless you want me to do that. I said, well, no, I'm not going to do that. He said, well, I guess we're done. So from that point, and he also shared something else. He said, your doctor needs to change your medication. He said, because you've been on some of your medication for a very long time. He said, I believe that's part of your problem. And I listened to him and I came out of there because I got really sick, setting aside all the other things. But I got really sick after, because I was back east this fall. When I came back, I usually drive, not all the time, because when I went there in the winter, I took a plane. But when I went back in the end of July, I drove, which is what I prefer. But when I got back home, it was a few days later, I couldn't get out of bed. And all of it was like nothing I've ever experienced. And so, I mean, I'm being treated by several doctors. So, of course, I call all my doctors up and they're like, this is how I describe it. Everybody's scratching their head. Well, no, I don't want y'all to scratch your head. I need y'all to come up. What's going on? What's wrong with me? So that was in the end of July. Here we are in December, and I just saw that specialist, which is a hematologist. And for those of you who don't know, a hematologist is found in the cancer treatment center. So now that's the first red flag. When you're told you got to go to cancer treatment center for a doctor's appointment. And then the second is that they deal specifically in blood disorders. And I do have a blood disorder. I have lupus, and my white cell count keeps going down, which is why my doctor sent me to that doctor. So that's the moral of that story. The point is, they've all pissed me off right now, and I'm always looking for another solution. I already do a lot of fruits and vegetables. I do a healthy protein shake every day. I take a lot of vitamins, supplements. I don't know how many pills I take every day. I don't know, maybe 15 or 20. I don't know. That's off the top of my head. I'm not sure. Part of those are prescription, and the other part are supplements. Um, it might be more than that. Um, but the point is, I'm always researching, looking for answers. Always. And when he said that to me, I left there kind of with a renewed sense of self. And I came home and went online and did some more research. And I said, I'm going to stop some of this medication myself. I don't have to wait for a doctor to tell me. This is my body. And nobody knows my body better than me. I know when something changes, I know what's different. I know what I've eaten, what might be different in my diet, because I watch all that stuff really close. Um, so I just started with hibiscus. Those are flowers dried. They have this tea that has a really uh, fruity fragrance, and it looks purple. It looks like it's a blueberry tea. Sort of is. Um, but I do that tea. I also do the turmeric tea. There's a ginger tea. It's like a ginger turmeric smoothie. There's supposed to be, went to this one website, all of her dishes and drinks are, um, what's the phrase I'm looking for? uh I don't know. But she had all these different recipes for, she had 10 different for inflammation. And part of my issue, which is part of the reason for the pain, is the inflammation. So, which is like part of the treats to having lupus or rheumatoid arthritis. You're going to have some inflammation. Or if you've ever had an injury, if you were an athlete in high school or whatever, you're going to have some inflammation. So there's no certain thing that can cause that to happen. That's why something like that is so popular now. So when I saw that, I said, well, let me try this turmeric. So, of course, Miss D, I went on Amazon right there and I ordered it. I ordered the turmeric, I ordered the ginger, I ordered the hibiscus tea on Amazon. I started these circulation herbal supplements. Actually, there's two of them. Amazon. Anything I order from them, I'll get it either next day or a couple days later. I could have went up to Walmart. That's no guarantee they have it. See, that's the thing. I could have drove up there and I might have made a blank trip. I'm here. The angle changed though. What angle? The angle on what? I didn't move. I moved my screen on cause see something's going on here because on my smartphone it's not really showing any activity, but on my laptop I see some more progressive activity. I'm not seeing anything. See, and that's the reason why I wanted to have more than one. I hope I don't have to have three. I should be thankful I have another option. I am. But I was just discussing some of my various treatments for my health. Some are more recent than others, trying to phase out the narcotics. I told my one doctor, I said, see, all y'all want to do is keep us sedated. And then that way you don't have to deal with us at all. Cause we so knocked out we can't even make it to our doctor appointment. If I took drugs the way you wanted me to, I wouldn't be able to go anywhere. But I don't. So with that in mind, I see the side of you, not face. Oh, oh, I see. You're seeing me from the laptop. I was looking at the smart screen. So now how do you see me now? Can you see me, my face, or is it still a side view? Because I was just looking at the smart, but like I said, I just noticed because I wasn't really paying attention. I was, but not really. I was still focused on the smart screen. But this one, the laptop, it is it's showing me a lot of activity, which I don't see on, which is odd because anyway, can you see me now? Can you see me from the front now? Or is it still just a side view? Let me turn this up. Can you see me? Now, yeah, see, I turned around and as opposed to looking at the smart. I got them both on, but I'm looking at the laptop now. So, yeah. I'm kind of at an angle. Well, thanks for sticking in there. I'm just for those of you who have like I was saying about the Fire Stick, I pay $12.99, and that's what I pay Amazon, and that covers all the free delivery, and that pays because when you buy the Fire Stick, you pay for it when you buy it, so that's it when it comes to that. There are no more fees attached to that. That's it. That's it. What the Fire Stick does is it is a vessel. It is it's a tool. It's another option for you to have access. In other words, before the Fire Stick, I couldn't I couldn't download all these apps because I didn't have access to it. I couldn't do it. But because of the Fire Stick gives me access to everything. Whether it's there or not, all I have to do is go up into the search and type in what I'm just like Google. All I do on there is go to YouTube and type in what I'm looking for, and it'll bring it up and then some. I mean, just like if you go on Google and look up something, any video that you watch on Google, it comes from YouTube. So when it shows you, uh, like when I go on there and I'm doing a how to, I'm looking for something, how to do something, and it'll show me how to do it. That video comes from YouTube. So why not? I'm not suggesting eliminate Google because I use Google a lot. But if I'm looking up something, I can just go right to YouTube. And what it does is I can go on YouTube and type in a movie, just hypothetically speaking. I can type in a movie and it'll bring it up, and it's either accessible to me right then, or it'll tell me when it's going to be available. A lot of them I don't have to pay more for. It's part of the package. Some of them aren't out yet. It just depends. But I just have so much more access because with YouTube, it has access to everybody. Like Google, they have access to everybody. So I'm not, um, I'm not, now don't get me wrong. I do pay, I have Hulu, but I'm really frustrated with them. But I still pay. It was $5.99 when I got it. I said that I will be here for you, but when your room gets bigger, I will not drop down as much, and I will always be here to support you. It will never get that big. No, it's not gonna get that big. I'm not I'm not that ambitious. I don't have those goals. I'm not that. Now there was a time when I was that person. When I had all those dreams of wanting all that, but I don't. I don't. You know. No. Now I'm not saying that I would hinder the growth. No, I want it to grow. Like I've said before, certainly I want it to get monetized, and there's certain tiers you have to reach to make that happen. But I mean, there's all sorts of mediums that I'm trying to, as I've said before, that I'm trying to get everything straightened out so that I could have better access. Right now, everything's kind of, some people use the term fluid. So I don't know. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna say I'm flying blind because that wouldn't be the truth. No, it's just in growing stages right now. Even from the other night yesterday, uh I got subscribers from that. So, I mean, had I not done because I hadn't downloaded another, yes, I did. I downloaded that video. So, in addition to that video getting additional views, I also got a few subscribers. So, certainly I'm hoping that people won't just come on these lives and chat me up and not subscribe. I want them to subscribe. I don't know. I think some people think, because I have talked to some people, they don't understand any of it. And I think they think that, well, no, I know they think that there's some sort of catch to it. There's no catch, there is no fee, not at this point. I will say that these arenas are all changing all the time, and nobody has any control over it, not even the federal government. They're trying to, but as of right now, that's why it's free. It doesn't cost anything to start a channel. It doesn't cost anything. Not yet. Not yet. We don't have to pay a fee to start a channel. Doesn't cost anything. You don't pay anything for marketing or advertising. Nothing. Mm-mm. No, they don't. None of that's a fee yet. Not yet. But I would imagine the day will come, just like everything else. I've seen in the market where I bought something at the store and was using it for a year or two. And then all of a sudden, the price would go up maybe $2 or $3. And I'm like, what in the world? Why do they think people going to buy this? Because that's what they've been doing, testing it. They've been testing supply and demand. And once they think they have you, then that's when they go. They jack it up because now they know, or at least they think they know. There are people out there, they don't care about that. They buy what's on sale. I will admit, I have certain things. I don't just buy what's on sale. There's certain things I have to have a certain brand. So it just depends. It really does. But as far as my birthday today, my day started out great because, of course, I started it with you guys. Please like, subscribe, and click the notification bell if you like my content. People say I don't say that enough. I made whole videos and didn't say it at all because I didn't realize I didn't say it. But it happens. So I'm just trying to get better. And I know if I'm even on a live, I know that I still have to say during the course of the live, I still have to say who I am because maybe you don't know me. Maybe you stumbled up on my channel and you don't know who I am. So, yeah. But hey, guys, thanks for sticking around. I'm glad you're still here. Like I said, I started my day out with you guys. I said I was going to end my birthday with you guys as I my birthday started. I got a dozen roses. A woman never gets too many roses, ever. I mentioned in one video, I said, as a young woman, you should go to Goodwill or somewhere inexpensive, get you 3 or 4 vases. Just keep them down under your sink so that when that person brings you flowers, you're prepared because it's going to happen. It's absolutely going to happen. But I've seen people get flowers. I've given flowers. I've given flowers to family members, to friends. I've given flowers to men. I remember on one of my anniversaries to my husband, I sent a dozen roses to his job. And I know he'd never gotten flowers. And he said, "Why did you send me flowers?" I said, "Because I recognize men like flowers too. Maybe they don't like them as much as women. Now, certainly, if you say to me today, you don't ever want them again, then you don't have to worry about me doing it. I won't do it again." So they must have me blocked. Who can't see them? Who can't you see? You can't see uh Rock. Is that who you can't see? Well, they're there, so I'm sure they heard you say that's what's going on. Based on the commentary I've gotten from uh, Rock McGee, uh, I can only imagine the other people in the chat. Oh, okay. I don't know. Maybe if they are paying attention and they hear you say that, maybe they will unblock it because there's nothing like being in on a conversation, but you can't really be in on the conversation. So yeah, as I stated before, DMV is tried to ruin my birthday, but I wouldn't let them. So um, it was a little exhausting, though, I will say that. But everything worked out. I was able to take care of that. My license is all good. And I came home, and I think the first thing I did was I made that strawberry margarita nice and thick, stuck it in the freezer, and stuck my glass in there so it could get nice and chilled. So that when I sat down here with you guys, I could do my birthday toast. Now, it occurred to me when I was in there doing that, possibly the next time that I would do that would be New Year's Eve. And I'm thinking maybe I should do a live for New Year's Eve. And I know some people are going to have plans. And right now, and I'm just saying that right now today, I'm not expecting to make any plans. I might be thinking too far ahead. I might be thinking too far ahead. But so I'm not going to say today that I'm going to do a live for New Year's because I that's a little far for me at this point because today technically is the 17th and we've got, Christmas next week. Where's the time go? We got Christmas next week. And then, of course, we know the very next week is New Year's Eve and we'll be at a new year. Now, what I will say in reference to my channel, I do plan to go into the new year, and I'll discuss that in another video. Some of my plans for 22, as far as the channel is concerned, what I hope to accomplish. And like I said, just keep channel and bringing in the viewers and, just me getting to know you, you getting to know me. And I tell you something, life is such a learning experience, or I should say it can be. It can be if you want it to be. If you keep your eyes open, your ears open, it can be. And I like looking at life through the eyes of a child where things are all still so exciting. Not that it's new, but life is exciting. I'm only talking to you and they are no one else in here but you and me. Huh. Well, I don't, that's what it seems like. Oh, wow. I don't know. Is there something I can do? That's what it seems like. Huh. Because it says, well, I mean, if they're there and it seems like they are, huh. I guess my question is when there is a chat and people come in with their own personal settings on the chat, that's a personal choice who they want to actually have interaction with, even though they're in a chat. Wouldn't that though, doesn't that seem kind of, if you're in a chat, public chat, why would you be in a public chat private? Does that make sense to you? It don't make sense to me. That's what it seems like. No. How many people do you see? I see 3. It says there's 3. 3, maybe 4. So they're not saying much though. Because most of, as you can see the chat, I'm sure you noticed Rock spoke to you. And I think Miss D, but I think how many people? You are right, but it's okay. It seems like they're there, but they're not saying anything. And maybe they were waiting on me to ask them a question. I don't really know the rules here. It's a chat, so that means you just, what do they say? You get in where you can fit in, so to speak. If you guys have any questions for me, please by all means ask. This is that opportunity to do that. It's in real time. This is not edited. This is live. I'm right here, right now. you know, right now. So, as I said, with the new year coming up, trying to decide, as I said before, my plan is to do a live every day. As far as the timeline, I did mention, I think it was yesterday. Um, I see it said 3, but I don't see their comments. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I said they must just be listening, not really have anything to say. They're just looking, you know. Sort of like what they call them, window shopping, sort of. But I'm thankful that they're there, even if they don't have anything to say. I know Rock, when he came on, he did, you know, wish me happy birthday, asked me how I was doing, and he spoke to you. So he wanted me to know he was there, as well as Miss D did also. And then initially she was talking a little bit, but that was it. It's basically just been me and you, kid. Yeah. So, Jazzy, do you have plans for Christmas? Are you maybe going out of town? Um, Anything? You gonna cook a big meal, having people over? Anybody out there listening? Do you have plans for the holiday? Um, Anything you want to share? Do you have plans to go out of town, or do you just plan to be at home? Because I'd probably be right here doing this, and I don't hold me to that because I'm not sure. Because when stuff is new, it's more impulsive than it is anything else. Well, they say it's the honeymoon stage. So yeah, this is the honeymoon stage. I see it's okay. Yeah, it said no, just being here with my family. Well, girl, that's a full time. That's a lot right there. You know, that's a whole lot. So yeah, that's the probably the only thing I miss about living so far away from them is during the holidays when what we usually do, because we're up all night cooking, we usually on the phone with each other, sharing recipes, or my sister might be asking me about a recipe for something that she decided to do, or might decide at the last minute to add another dish that when you're cooking and you might have a menu plan, but then you decide after you look at what you got and you think, maybe I should fix this, maybe I should fix something else, or, it's kind of nothing's uh engraved in stone. It's kind of, because after you've done it a while, it's kind of okay, so what do I want to fix? I don't care how good it is, it can get boring. And that's kind of where I am with the whole holiday meals. I always try to throw a little twist in there because I was saying, okay, I'll probably do, because I didn't do any heavy for Thanksgiving. As you get older, you have to watch the heavy stuff, like macaroni, cheese, and dressing, and mashed potatoes, and all. That's a lot of heavy. Sweet potatoes, sweet potato casserole, it's a lot of heavy. So I think for Christmas, I'm not real big on ham, but I think I'm gonna make I got a big pot because I do soups and stuff like that. I think I'm gonna make a pot of collard greens. That's a definite, and make some cornbread for that. My meats, I'm not sure about what kind of meats I'm gonna do. I'm thinking about maybe because I got a lot of pork in my freezer. I got center cuts and pork roast and ham, and I don't know. And I don't really eat a lot of that stuff. I used to, but as I got older, that's the thing about life. Your taste for things change. It does not stay the same. So I don't know. I may pull like that pork roast out and maybe barbecue it or something. And like I said, do the collard greens and uh what else? I don't know if I'm doing sweet potato pies. I did them for Thanksgiving, and I'm not real big on that. I mean, if anything, I might make a souffle. Maybe, maybe. Um, and what else? Maybe macaroni and cheese. Maybe, maybe. And believe it or not, all that stuff is already here. When I'm online and I be talking about what's in my pantry and what's in my refrigerator, I said, I know people don't believe this stuff is here. When I shop, a lot of stuff I get when it's on sale. And like right now, Kroger got butter on sale for a dollar. Is it $1.79? Something like that. See, when stuff like that, I go get a bunch. Last time it was on sale, I bought 10. That's what I do. Because I don't use artificial. I don't use margarine or anything like that. I use butter. So I use butter every day. Uh, so when it's on sale, yeah, I'm gonna get it. Absolutely. Because I do bake with it, cook with it. Yeah. Why should I pay, oh, I don't know, $3 or $4 for a pound when I can get it right now? Kroger got it on sale. And I still haven't decided if I'm going to bake for the holiday, meaning if I'm going to do, Christmas cookies. I want to. Because, see, normally by now, I would have already made my batters because I don't do them at the same time. I make up my batters. That's all done in one phase. And then I come back and then I bake the cookies. That's not all done at the same time. It's too much to do all at the same time. So I don't. I do everything in steps because the baking comes when I'm getting ready to. Because for example, if I bake tonight, that means it's leaving tomorrow. That's how quickly. I mean, because you're talking about fresh stuff. You don't want to have it in your house 2 or 3 days. You don't want to do that. So, as far as desserts are concerned, I made a strawberry loaf cake last week, I think it was. I posted it on YouTube. And something I learned, I think it was last year. And it was like a light bulb moment when I realized it. And I've been doing it ever since because it works. Um, I started freezing my cakes and pies, and I never used to do that. But this is what I do now, primarily because I don't want to waste and because I only want to have out what I need. Like, for example, if I make a cake, sometimes people will block you because they think you feel some way about someone else and have not done anything to them at all. That's true. That is true. Um, I am wondering with them here why they haven't responded, at the very least to say, I don't have you blocked, but nobody's saying anything. I mean, I'm sure you're looking at the screen like I am, and there doesn't seem to be any communication between anybody but me and you. So I don't know what that means exactly. Other than to say, my mother used to say, child, she started everything just like that. My mother's birthday is Christmas, so a lot of stuff that you hear me talk about is inspired by her. All the baking and stuff for the holiday and putting up decorations, all that was her. She loved Christmas. I'm sure part of it had to do with the fact that her birthday was Christmas Day. Right. They were talking to you before. Yeah, but they didn't. They just, like I said, they just, introduced themselves and, wished me happy birthday. And that was it. There hasn't Miss D, she was there for a little bit, but again, I don't know if she's still there either. So I don't know. I've asked one to say anything, and they're just watching us. As my mother would say, they talked about Jesus. So what you think they're gonna do for you? So I always keep that in mind in dealing with others. Um, I would love it if everybody would interact, but we can't control other people. I don't even try. I don't. I have to stay focused on me. And yes, I am thankful that they're there. And yes, I do remember Rock McGee. I absolutely do. Uh, and Miss D. I remember these people. They've been active on my channel. Um, but don't sweat this at all. You know, I'm okay with the two of us talking. I have thought that uh, last night was very quaint. Not going to worry about it. Absolutely. Did you do a lot of shopping for the holiday? Like have to buy a lot of gifts and stuff. My mother used to say, she used to say, I buy for you all year. I'm not getting you anything for Christmas. Mama would call you over to her house and she said, I got something for you. It could be anytime, you know, have nothing to do with Christmas. And she would have went on home shopping or QVC or somewhere and bought an item and every color came in. She didn't know if you liked it or not. She liked it. That's what that was about. So and so then she would give you one. Yes, for my grandkid. Okay. Okay. Yeah, because I would not want to, because the closer it gets to Christmas, the worse it's going to get out there for any kind of shopping. So, yeah, that's kind of the thing as far as, being back east, not being able to see my grandkids. My son has the youngest. She's 5 now. No, wait a minute, wait a minute. Time has gotten by me. I think she's 7 or 8 now. But see, when I found out about her, because see, my son's in his 40s and he just had a child. He went his whole young life, adult life, saying he would never have kids. So when he got to be 40 or pretty close to it, and now he's a father, he's besides himself. But he's a good father. I knew that he would be. He had those traits, patience and all that stuff that you need to be a parent. But when he told me that he had a child, I was excited, of course, because I have 2 kids and my daughter's kids are grown. So my daughter's kids have kids. So that I'm a great grandmother. But my son and my daughter said to do the grandkids because they are good. Yeah. So yeah, but I got excessive. I tend to do that. I got excessive because I felt like I had lost out on time because I didn't know about her. She was already, I think, 3 or 4 years old when I found out about her. I think everybody knew but me. There were hints by my family, my sister, about my son having a child. And I said, well, he hasn't said anything to me. And I can't impose, I can't say, boy, I heard you had a baby. No, no, I don't, no. I knew if he hadn't told me there was a reason. So I waited until he told me. My daughter has 3 kids and my has have none. Okay. Yeah, so I feel slighted, cheated because I don't get to. And I mean, I don't have to tell you, I made some mistakes with my kids, and my daughter is the oldest. So she and we're not in a good place right now. So um, she's the oldest. So yeah, like I said, she had to bear the brunt of whatever chaos was going on in my world. And I'm not oblivious to that. I know that. She's got a lot of, and she's not an angry person. She's a very passive, quiet person, you know. I mean, one would describe her, if she were in high school, they would describe her as shy, quiet, you know. And she had two boys, and they're grown. They have children now. So, and I don't know any of them. Of course, I know my grandkids, but I don't know their kids. So, because all that's happened since I've been here. And whenever I go there, because nobody knows I'm coming, and then it's almost as if when I get there and I say, well, oh, I'm going to be here a while. Uh, because I'm not there, I get punished. And I get things like, well, they can't change their plans because you showed up. And of course, that's offensive. But what are you going to do? You know, I'm a grandparent. I don't have any rights. Not legally. I don't have any rights. I have to abide by whatever they say. Sort of like a what do they call them? Sort of like a the father who's what do they call him? Deadbeat dad. I'm not deadbeat though, because when I found out I had a granddaughter, even though I wasn't there, I was sending every month. I was so happy to be in the store buying stuff for a little person. It's been so long since we had a little person in our family. So any of us, because our kids are all around the same age, and nobody's had any kids. So it's such a big deal. But I bought all this stuff. Hey, how are you? Did you come to celebrate my birthday? Cheers. Cheers. I made strawberry margaritas. I made one for you. I made one for you too. And they're delicious. I put a whole pound of strawberries. Thank you. Thank you so much. It absolutely has been a happy birthday. And you know, the thing about having birthdays, when you get older, you tend to celebrate longer than that day because there's still people showing up after that day with gifts. Yep. So that's the appreciative thing about that. This whole thing was frozen, not the glass, because I made them in my Ninja. I stuck them in the freezer. I did chill the glass because I don't have a margarita glass. I don't. I got all them glasses in there, and I rarely use any of them. I'm not gonna buy a margarita glass. This works just fine. I have all kinds of wine glasses, and I don't even drink wine. But this is really good. It's got just the right amount of Quavo in it. You know, that can be tricky when you're making a drink and you're putting alcohol in there, and you put in, like, for example, if you follow the directions and then you taste it, and it's like, oh, I can't even taste the alcohol. So then you put some more in. But my memory is still a little clear from the last time I made it. So I knew based on how much I was making, which I just made my tumbler, um, I knew I needed at least, how much did I put in there? Maybe a half a cup. Yeah, because I used my measuring cups. I didn't bring out a shot glass. I just used my measuring cups. And it was, I'm sure it was at least a half a cup. I don't want to say a cup. I think it was a half cup. But anyway, it's the perfect amount. It's got just the right amount of alcohol. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. So how was your work day? You didn't work too hard, did you? I want to thank everyone for that's here. This is Alice at Wonderland Speaks. For those of you who don't know, or possibly who's just signing on, uh, this is Alice at Wonderland Speaks, and this is a birthday celebration. I'm having a toast to all of you, being extremely appreciative of those of you who have taken time out of your very busy, chaotic days to stop and wish me happy birthday, because you didn't have to do it. And I must say, I've heard from people this past 24 hours that has just really warmed my heart. I worked hard until a week ago. Now it's, well, all right, vacation time. Do you have plans to go somewhere, or you just gonna rest, girl? I started forcing myself to go places, even when I didn't want to, or when I got tired of making plans with people who at the last minute would, uh, which I know they had to have planned that, because there's no way we could have did all that, made all those detailed plans, and then I go to pick you up, and then you just don't even answer the door. That is absolutely a plan. So, because of that kind of shenanigans, I'm a rest. It's the holidays. I may go somewhere New Year's. I hear you. As I said, I'm still trying to decide if I want to. I'd say I'm not taking any kind of public transportation. It would be me getting in my car, which I'm absolutely offered that. You know, uh, but it would be something like that. And since right now, like I said, I've been wanting to go somewhere. I think if I go anywhere right now, I'd go to Palm Springs. I like going there anytime. I don't know. I think it's because the first time I went, I had such an amazing time. When I came back home, I just couldn't talk about it enough. I talked about it so much everywhere I went. Everybody wanted to go to Palm Springs. But it is. And I was so excited when I came back. I wanted to move there. Yeah. I came home, got online doing research about demographics and, cost of living and everything. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I mean, because it's not that far, you know. Uh, but again, I don't know what I'm going to do. I may just be right here cooking my little holiday meal, sipping on a drink, listening to some Temptations, chestnuts roasting, or something like that. I don't know. Um, have either of you heard this newest song by After Seven? I heard the other day, and I saved it because it's been a minute. I don't know how familiar you are with the group. I think I don't remember when I first got introduced to him, but um, I was a fan, and then you didn't really hear anything about him for a long time. And then two of them were brothers. I don't think I heard it. I just happened upon it. It wasn't, I didn't go looking for it. I was on YouTube like I always am, and it just kind of popped up. And I looked at the date, which is what I always do with YouTube. I look at the date of anything, and it was new. I'm like, I didn't think they were, because they were grieving because the brother, I think he OD'd. He was the middle one, the dark skinned one. Uh, he had a drug problem for a long time, and then he died. And then I didn't hear anything from him. I didn't hear they were replacing him. I didn't hear anything. Period. Babyface was out there doing, I don't know what he was doing. He did Dancing with the Stars, which I thought was ridiculous. And then he did a tour. He was out here in Las Vegas on tour, and I don't know. But anyway, I love the song. It reminds me of the way they used to do. It was reminiscent. That's the best way to describe it. I really like it. But I first didn't recognize them. That's what I'm saying. It's been a minute. I didn't recognize him because the lead singer is kind of fair complected. He has a high voice. And I mean, yeah, it's obvious. Everybody's getting older. None of us look the same. But to me, he just looked real different. If I hadn't seen the name first after 7, I'm not sure I would have been, because he had went out on his own. He was by himself. He was doing his own solo thing. So, but anyway, it's a good song, and they've replaced the deceased brother with I think he is, and I didn't research it, so I'm not sure, but I think he is the son. And I could be wrong because I didn't research it. It's just that he sounds like the other brother. So I'm thinking it might be his son. But don't hold me to that because I didn't look it up. I meant to, but I didn't. So I'm not sure. But like I said, it's new. It's only been out, I don't know, less than a month, I guess. Might only be a couple of weeks. I'm not sure. But it's a good song. It sounds like their old music, but it's new. And that's apparent, even if you just look at them. It's apparent that it's new because they look different. Meaning they look older. They look good, but they look older. So, but yeah, they sound good. They sound good, really good. So yeah, check it out when you get a chance. It's on YouTube, of course. Everything's on YouTube. Yeah. So did everybody put up Christmas decorations? Put up a tree? Put any lights outside? Listening to any Christmas music? Deanna, how long's your vacation? Let's see, this is the 17th, so so wow. I'm thinking, how long have I been on? I've been on a while. I'm on longer tonight than I was last night. See, that's the thing when you're sitting here like this, and that's another, if you're doing like weighing the pros and cons, this is more like sitting in a room, and I'll be the first to say, I miss, and I think I mentioned that before, I miss the small gatherings when people got together in small groups and they sit around and have some drinks and laugh and talk, play some music. I miss that. 23 Chaser, good morning, Wonder. Hey, hi, how are you, Clout? 2300. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for checking in. We're celebrating my birthday. It is the end of my birthday. And I began my birthday with this live. I spent my day and I came back at the end of the night, this night, the 16th, to top it off, and shared with you guys and have a drink. And this is a frozen strawberry margarita. No, I didn't do any decorations this year. I hear you, girl. My lights are sitting here on the floor because I tested them, of course, to see if there were any out or whatever. And the plan was to put them up, and that's as far as I got. They're on the floor in piles. I'm not messing with that. I did more than I thought I would do. Cause I have a tree where my balloons are hanging off of. That's a tree, and it's got Christmas lights all over it, which I got it plugged in. Then I got another one, another tree, a little bitty tree that I have up. Then I got my big wreath at the door. So I did, I did a lot. Happy birthday, love. Hoping you had a great day. My birthday is coming soon, also. Hey, well, if I don't talk to you, you have a blessed, happy birthday. Because I know mine has been truly, truly blessed. Truly blessed. I am so thankful. I'm thankful to be here with y'all. I kid you not. All this here is new to me, but I'm enjoying it. I mean, if I didn't, I wouldn't be here. I almost feel like that we're having like a little set, you know? I don't know if anybody else has a drink, but you know, this is nice. Yes, this is very nice. And as I've said before, this is Alice at Wonderland Speaks. And I want you to like, subscribe, click the notification bell. If you like my content, please share, tell your family and friends and subscribe to my channel because, again, I'm still trying to get to that first tier of 1,000 subscribers by Christmas, or at the very least, the end of this year. I know that it is very possible. I know that it's possible because it's done every day, just not on my channel. you know, but I want it to be. I want it to be. So, if any of you have the hookup and are so inclined, I would absolutely be grateful if you could help make this happen. Um, let's see, I'm reading here. That's good. Okay. Yeah, so, just trying to, I was sharing earlier how even from yesterday, um, I got 5 subscribers. So, had I not done the live yesterday, nothing was different because I hadn't put out, well, no, I had put out another video, but it wasn't moving at all. But there must be something to this live. This live. So, yeah, the fact that we're here, the fact that I have to have 2 mediums here so that I can communicate once. Now, I did actually buy the setup so that I can do podcasts. I want somebody out there to tell me the difference between a podcast and a live broadcast. Like, well, what we're doing here is live because this is not recorded earlier. This is right now. So, what What's the difference between this and a podcast? Because I should have already asked that question, because I already went out and bought everything I needed to do a podcast, because that's just how I am. I mean, because I have another computer and I have another camera. I just said it's going to take some time, but it can be done. Be patient. It's a lot of work. It's a lot. You lock your doors when you get that 1,000 subs. Uh, do you want to elaborate on that statement? Clout 2300? What do you mean lock my doors? What does that mean? I mean, I know what it means. What do you mean? I mean, of course, I'm a female, so uh not that we're exclusive, because as you know, we live in a world, some people don't discriminate when it comes to male or female. So I'm just curious as to what is it, if you would care to elaborate as to your comment. Thanks, and the same to you, Cloud. Yeah, uh, I don't know what that means exactly. I'm just I'm just trying to do me. Deanna shared your life. I subbed. Have a great day. I'm off to work. Thanks, Deanna. Oh, okay. Well, I do appreciate you checking in and you getting ready to go to work, because you didn't have to do it, but you stopped what you were doing in the midst of what you were doing, to wish me a happy birthday. Do you realize how fortunate I am? Because you didn't have to do that. We live in such a selfish world now. I'm very thankful that I have all you guys here celebrating with me, wishing me happy birthday, because you could absolutely be somewhere else. So I am absolutely, and just for future reference, I absolutely will be doing lives. As I stated yesterday, I will be doing one every day. Um, I'm not sure about the time at this point. It may be this time because this is kind of my time. I'm up at night. So I may be doing my lives at 12 o'clock at night. And shared your life. I said, have a great day. I'm off to work. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Again, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you guys. More than you'll ever know. For real? You know what? My mother used to say, and for those of you who, I certainly hope you will stick around. Um, my mother used to say, they talked about Jesus, so what do you think they're going to do for you? And I have always lived my life with that philosophy, because that is true. Look at what they did for Jesus. you know, he was perfect. And if they talk about a perfect person, what do you think they're going to do for an imperfect person? And I'm absolutely imperfect. A lot of it, I've put it out there. So it's not like I've got some dark secret somebody's going to discover. I don't have any secrets. I have nothing to prove. Um, I'm just who I am. I am a very blessed, thankful, grateful woman, Black woman, who today, well, technically now, December 16th, turned 66 years old. That, I can't even believe it. I can't believe it. You know, to me, that's something that happens to people like my mother. I don't see myself like that. I'm being honest. I don't. That's not me. That's not me. Uh-uh. Uh-uh. That's not me. It's needed. Haters and trolls, exactly. Yeah, I know. I've gotten a few, I've gotten some people who don't necessarily agree with my content. And as I've stated, everybody's entitled, and they are. There's nothing I can do about that. So, I have to keep pressing on, and I'm not going to say I'm not fearless. No, I'm not. I'm not an idiot. I live in the real world, and I've experienced a lot of it. So I'm prepared for what life has to offer. You know, I've I've seen most of it, good and bad. See, the thing about this age, it ain't too much that can surprise you, really. As was pointed out to me by someone who I thought I barely knew. Block. That's what I'm saying, Deanna. For real. I can't sweat that. No, I don't think about that. I think if I focused on that, I wouldn't be able to focus on this because I'd be too focused on that. But instead, I'm inspired by those who are inspiring. And I like to believe that I inspire some people, you know, uh, who maybe have not been able to reach a certain level. Maybe because when I started all this, when I was traveling cross country, uh, and doing research, and I couldn't find what I was looking for, all I could think about was, where's it at? Well, maybe I have to create it because I'm certainly not the only one out there. There's a lot of us. So who's looking out for us? So there it is. So yeah, I was inspired by that when I started doing my research on mature women and travel and transitioning and that, and I couldn't find any information to help us at all. There was no resource for us anywhere. And even when I got here, there was nowhere, no organization, nothing for us. And I said, that's the direction I need to go in. I need to establish an organization for us to help us because there's a lot of us who are turning a corner, turning a page, turning something, and they would love that support or at the very least the tools they need to get to the next level. And that's where I come in. You know, you shouldn't have to do all that. There should be a resource. Everybody shouldn't have to bump their head, especially if you did, and you did. Why can't they share? So yeah, that's basically it. And I'm agreeing with you. I will be blocking some folks. I mean, I remember getting this very long opinion, and I read it, and I found it amusing at first because I said, "How dare this person?" And then I made a video. I said, "You know what? I wasn't gonna do this." I said, "But I," and I would imagine that was not your intent, but you inspired me. So here it is. I wasn't gonna mess with y'all, but you apparently wanted it, so I'm gonna give it to you. So I I thought I had a little to say, and then before I know it, I had a lot to say. And I didn't hear from him anymore. Yeah. I said, well, I so in the video I shared with them, I said, please, by all means, because I know everybody's not gonna agree with me. We don't live in that world where everybody agrees with everybody. You're entitled to your opinion, but so am I. And you can't live my life. The only person who can do that is me. I am the only one who can write this story because it's mine. So I don't hold anybody responsible for my decisions. They're mine because I'm the only one that's got to live with them. That's why I stopped involving people in my life changing decisions. It's nice to have somebody else to blame. You know, we refer to them sometimes as the fall guy. They'll be the fall guy. But the point is, when it's all said and done, you're madder at yourself because you listened to that person. When in reality, just do your research, think about it, and make the best decision you can at that moment. At that moment. And at first, it might feel like, oh my God, what did I do? I shouldn't have done that. I can remember I was going to Palm Springs, and whenever I'm going someplace that I've been before, I always like to take different routes. And I hadn't, I hadn't, this particular route I decided to take, I couldn't remember it. I just knew it wasn't difficult. That's all I knew. And I got to a point, and I hadn't been driving long. I had no cell reception. So everything that I had in my phone that I thought was going to assist me was gone. What was I going to do? So I said to myself, I started driving. And I said, if I do not see something that looks familiar to me, I gave myself a time. I said 15 minutes. If I don't see something that looks familiar in 15 minutes, I'm turning around because I know I've gone the wrong way. And I was right. So yeah, that's like I said, that's kind of my philosophy about stuff like that. You know, we have these intuitions and senses about things, and most of the time we ignore it, but they're there for a reason. For a reason. I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna go. And as I said, I just appreciate everybody so much. You have no idea how much of a smile everyone has put on my face. You know, we live in this world and we all live here together and we all need each other in one way or another. No matter how independent we may think that we all still need each other. So, with that said, I need you guys. And I enjoy our time together. And I know that everybody's not going to be able to be there every time. I just want when you think of me, and I think I am going to say for now, I'm going to say 12 o'clock at night, like I have been doing the past couple of nights. I'm going to try that for a while and see how that works. And then if I find it's not working, I'll switch it again. Nothing's engraved in stone, you know. I'm kind of free to switch up as I want, kind of like life. Like some people say, I can't do it. Yes, you can. Oh, goodness. So, yes, I am just so happy that, you know, I see all my people because again, tonight I did get a little more than I got the night before. So I would imagine the more I do this, and I know it'll have ups and downs just like everything else in life. I just keep an open mind. That's the moral of the story. Keep an open mind, keep sipping my margarita. And what's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Friday. What do I have planned for tomorrow? I'm still celebrating. I'm still celebrating. I'm still uh, receiving gifts. So I'll be doing some pampering, um, like pedicures and manicures. I'm not a nail girl, so no. But that doesn't mean I can't get a manicure. Stuff like that. I'll do something like that maybe. Something that involves personal care. I'll be doing something like that tomorrow. Probably trying to get some rest because the DMV tried to stress me out today. Just relaxing and probably that's probably it. I don't. I actually don't have technically. I don't have any plans. Maybe a little bit. Like I said, I'm still receiving gifts, so I'm all good. But anyway, I'm gonna go. It's 5 minutes till, and I've stayed on a little longer tonight than I did the night before. So I'm gonna announce that I'm gonna do a live. Uh, I don't know. I'm gonna say 12 a.m. nightly. I just leave it like that. And so, like I said, for you guys who can join, again, this is Alice at Wonderland Speaks. Please, please like, subscribe, click the notification bell if you enjoy my content. And I'm going to see everyone soon. Well, I'm not going to see you, but I'm going to talk to you soon. So, as I said, stay safe, be careful. And if I don't communicate with any of you between now and the holiday and New Year, please be blessed. Enjoy your holidays and the time with your family, friends, and loved ones. Just enjoy it as best you can. Okay? I love you guys. Take care. I will talk to you soon. Bye.